Hi, my name is Mr. Lockhart. I'm the new English teacher here at American History High. I teach mostly senior courses plus creative writing. And I'm going to be advising the National Honor Society and hopefully our new drama club. I come here after about 20 years in the entertainment communication business. I was a lawyer involved in negotiating contracts, not the kind that goes to court. I'm the deal maker, and worked for some companies like CNBC and MSNBC, some big talent agencies. And I've been teaching now for, this is my 8th year. And I have to say, teaching is a lot more fun than negotiating contracts. We love being at American History. The students are fantastic. You have high hopes and ambitions for yourselves, and that's awesome. It's great to have students that's a great thing for a teacher to have students that set the bar for themselves.
So Mr. Lockhart, you mentioned you worked in the entertainment business, right?
That's right.
Can you go in depth with the entertainment? That sounds very interesting.
Okay, sure thing. Well, I had a lot of jobs. I worked initially in New York City in video production in those days, and this is the earliest days of MTV. People were producing all kinds of video and music video, and also a lot of sales and commercial material. I went to law school at night during that period. Went to Fordham University and took courses from 6 to 10 every night. For over 4 years, while I was doing that, started working in a law firm that specialized in music. We had clients such as Chuck Berry and Aretha Franklin, and a lot of old timers that probably none of my students would recognize the name of. But I learned a lot about the music business. From there, I was at the William Morris Agency, which in its day, it's now called William Morris Endeavor. It was the biggest talent agency in the world. We had huge clients, and I was working in the theater and television and music, negotiating deals for clients, book publishing, all those areas.
Were there any tough cases you had?
There's always tough negotiations, and I think the toughest thing I ever had to do was, I don't know how many of my students would recognize the name of Angela Lansbury, the actress, but in those days she was a big television star, #1 television star. And I had to explain to my bosses why she couldn't take the deal that was being offered, because the way the contract was written, it would have put her in serious potential financial liability. Could have made her subject to a lawsuit. And I had to stand there on the carpet to tell my boss, Angela can't take this money. This is not good. So that was kind of the toughest one that I remember. And then after that, worked for some independent production companies in television, a lot of public television. In New York City, there's not a lot of commercial recorded television. Television in New York is mostly live. Like the talk shows like Letterman or the news programs, things like that. Most of the recorded programs, the dramas and comedies are done in Los Angeles. So the little bit of dramatic or comedy kind of programming in New York City was public television, so that's what I was working in. And from there, began representing public television producers overseas. They would make the shows for public television, and then we would go to them and say, hey, did you know you could sell these shows in Sweden and Denmark and Africa and Japan and all these places? And they say, oh, good, go get us some money. So I did that for 5 years. After that, I was at a big company that's not around anymore called Hallmark Entertainment. They make giant TV miniseries. They did The Odyssey and Merlin and Animal Farm and Moby Dick and Alice in Wonderland. And these are all things that I worked on, all contracts I worked on, all these shows. Kind of the most fun was Animal Farm and Alice in Wonderland, I think both involved the Henson. I did the contracts for the Henson Company because the Henson Company provided the animals.
So, Mr. Lockhart,
Yeah.
the bigger question, what
Yeah.
made you want to teach them?
Okay, that's a good big question. I actually had wanted to be a high school teacher when I was in high school. I helped our music teacher, our choir teacher, teach the chorus there. I did that my sophomore, junior, and senior years. I became the assistant conductor, and I thought that's great. I'd love to do that. And I went to college, and I took a course in education. And back then, 35 years ago, 40 years ago, courses in education were horrible, and it was so boring and so tedious. I said, "Oh, I can't possibly study education. This is too dull for me." And I went off into theater and film. So it was really a matter of working as an attorney towards the end of that career and saying there's nothing here of my own. There's nothing that I can put a hand on and say, this is mine, I made this happen. You come in and you're a problem solver for other people. You're taking care of other people's agendas. And I said, no, I really want to make something happen myself. And sort of went back to the old dream of teaching. And until then, I had not known that there was a simple shortcut for experienced people to become teachers. I thought I was going to have to go and get a master's degree in education and spend the time to do that. And I didn't have the time or the money at that point in my life. And that's when I found out about alternate route. And that if I could find a school crazy enough to hire me, they would mentor me and take me through the program. And it's all been fun since then.
All right, thank you.
Okay.